come into hospital, the default is for you to be addressed by your recorded forename. Now this is despite the fact that up to a third of patients prefer to be addressed differently.
I think it's a great idea being called by a name that you're known by. The only person ever called me Edward was my mother when I did something wrong.
Now the impact of interacting with an individual in a manner that they're comfortable with is even more significant in vulnerable population groups. The elderly, confused, the post-operative or critically ill patient, or even the end-of-life care patient. And these are all areas where far too often in the past we've got it wrong. #CallMe is an incredibly simple change to digital systems to improve patient care by simply recording the patient's preferred term of address and noting it clearly on both name bands and also stickers that are used throughout healthcare. Name bands, as they're visible for both patient being obliged to wear one and staff who use them for identity purposes. Stickers, as they're often seen before clinical interactions, such as on drug charts, mission notes, observation charts. Now, this change follows the patient from the point of presentation into the hospital through to their discharge out the front door, and it follows the patient as they move around the hospital in various wards and departments.
Right from the beginning, we've engaged with patients, patient representatives and volunteers who've universally endorsed and really helped to develop the project. Our Hospital Youth Forum told us about how hospital can be a daunting place, and anything we can do to try to make the hospital experience less stressful and more reassuring is important. Being addressed by your preferred name or nickname in clinical environments is a simple thing, but has such a profound ability to put people at ease. This cuts across cultures, ages, demographics. It's inclusive care.
This is my daughter, Sabira Abdul Basit, and in hospital her call me is Sabira. Is that right?
Our youth forum said #CallMe shows that the NHS wants our patients to feel safe and welcome in our hospitals. And we've heard examples about how the way names are pronounced can cause a lot of confusion and result in patients feeling excluded and patients and staff feeling awkward. We've heard about how it can break down barriers by saying someone's name correctly in the way they'd like it to be said, including where English isn't someone's first language. Making sure we get it right first time and throughout a patient's hospital journey shows we understand how a patient's name can be the greatest connection to their identity and individuality. It's also about building relationships and trust. And we heard from a patient with a learning disability about how she physically removes herself from anyone who uses her formal name. #CallMe makes sure that we will always call her by her right name throughout her stay in hospital. It's a digital solution that gives consistency.
Our challenge was to convert the idea into digital reality. The digital application support team came up with the potential concept of pulling the #CallMe field to the patient labels and wristbands. Our biggest technical challenge was finding the space on an already congested patient label and ensuring the potential length of the name could be printed on the label, as well as ensuring we were still GS1 regulatory compliant. The team produced plenty of prototypes to ensure we got it right. Once the project team were happy, we set about engaging with various specialties, including our laboratories, endoscopy, wards and governance teams, to ensure there was no impact on downstream systems or processes. Following the sign-off, we planned how we would update the 160 plus printers across our sites. Our digital colleagues worked over the period of 2 weeks to configure the printers. We produced a set of training guides, toolkits and communication materials to supplement the rollout and launch. This was a cost-neutral project. This is digital innovation and collaborative working with high impact for all our patients.
It's a digital solution that gives consistency. It's also a tool to support people who can't communicate themselves. And we heard a story about a patient at another trust who spent a year in hospital unable to talk, walk or move his hands following 2 strokes. He explained how frustrating it was to have to listen to staff mispronounce his surname and not be able to communicate back. #CallMe is about inclusive caring relationships and environments, a personal touch and a way to bring in familiarity alongside dignity. It's about patient care as well as patient experience. and it's about fundamentals.
Quality Hub has been engaging with the Trust Digital team to look at ways in which we can improve compliance. We've added audits to our ward accreditation programme and worked with wards to understand where wards are performing well and how they're managing to do that. And we've taken those processes to other wards which have not been performing quite so well, so that we could share ideas about how to implement the processes in the poorer performing wards. In the last 2 weeks, we've seen wards return results such as a 78% increase in 2 weeks on compliance, just by sharing those themes.
9 times out of 10 you think they're talking to me like someone who knows me. So it's a friendly voice rather than Edward and a bailiff or someone knocking on your door. And they get it on your armband as well. Everyone in the hospital knows you. It comes as Eddie, whatever department you go to. So I'm well happy with it. I think it's a good idea. Fair play to you.
#CallMe is a simple, clinically led digital innovation that is having a profoundly positive impact on our patients, their families, and their overall experience of care in our hospitals. And as Chief Executive, I'm absolutely delighted and proud that we're leading the way here in Worcestershire.
That is #CallMe, a simple, cheap, easy to achieve, digitally led innovation helping all. Please spread the idea, #CallMe.